Okay, welcome back. We are going to um, start work on a document called Flowers. We're going to open 4-6, File, Open, and we're going to look for 4-6. Let's see if we can find the missing font. Pretty sure I have a similar one. Otherwise, you have to look at that pink stroke around everything. All right, now I almost forgot what I was looking for. What is it? Garamond. All right. All right, sorry, it's taking a little bit of time. Garamond. Sure, I've got it someplace. All right, which one would be the best? I'll try this one. And then we're done. And voila, the pink is gone. That's good. So again, we're going to do a file and we're going to save as flowers underscore your name. And then the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go on the layers panel and we're going to click the empty square next to the text layer name to lock the text layer. When a layer is locked, the contents of the layer cannot be modified. It's a smart way to protect the content of any layer from unwanted changes. So now we're going to click on the background layer to target it. We're going to click the rectangle frame tool. Remember, it's the one with a little X in it. And we're going to draw a graphics frame in the center of the page that is approximately the size shown in figure 69, or you'll see it in just a moment on my screen. All right, the bounding box of the graphics frame is orange because orange is the selection color applied to the background layer. You'll see that. We're going to go to File on the menu bar. We're going to go down to Place. We're going to navigate to the drive and folder where our information is for week 4. And we're going to double click on Windmills Ghost. So we want to look for Windmills Ghost. And rather than double clicking, I'm just going to click on Open. Because the frame was selected, the graphic is placed automatically into the frame, and you'll see that on my screen as well as on figure 70 in your textbook. We're going to get the black selection tool. We're going to click anywhere to deselect the frame, and then we're going to click the eye icon on the background layer to hide it. And then we're going to click on the images layer to target that layer. We're going to go to File on the menu bar. We're going to Place. We're going to navigate to the drive and folder where the data files are stored, and we're going to look for Windmill Color and click Open. And you'll see that my cursor is filled with that image. It's considered a loaded cursor. We're going to position the pointer over the document. The pointer changes to the loaded graphics icon and shows a thumbnail of the graphic, which you can see. And then we're going to click the loaded graphic icon on the F in the word Flowers. And as shown in figure 71, or mine on the screen, the graphics is placed in a new graphics frame whose top left corner is located where the loaded graphics icon was clicked. Now we're going to move this graphic in a graphics frame. We're going to hide the images layer, and then we're going to click the selection tool. I've already got the selection tool. We're going to click the Windmills Ghost graphic in the layout. To turn that back on because it's invisible, remember? We turned it back on, we highlighted the background layer, We got the selection tool, and now we're going to click the Windmills Ghost graphic. We're going to click the top left reference point on the transform panel, which mine has already selected the top left point. Then we're going to get the direct selection tool. We're going to position the tool over the graphic, and then we're going to click it. And as soon as you position the direct selection tool over the graphic, the pointer becomes a hand, which mine did. The X and the Y text boxes on the transform panel change to X plus and Y plus. That indicates that the graphic, not the frame, is selected. Now we're going to note the width and the height of the graphic as listed on the transform panel. That's 11 by 8.5. And the graphic is substantially larger than the frame that contains it. So there are many areas of the graphic outside the frame that aren't visible through the frame. We're going to press and hold the hand icon, and you'll see the graphic change, or the icon changes to a black arrow. And then we're going to drag inside the graphics frame, and the windmill is centered in, until the windmill is centered in the frame as shown on figure 72, or mine on the screen. The graphic moves within the frame, but not the frame itself. And we're going to note that the blue bounding box, now visible, you can see the blue bounding box, is the bounding box for the graphic inside the frame. That reflects the real size of the frame. We're going to get the selection tool, the black selection tool. We are going to select the graphic. The orange frame appears and the blue bounding box of the graphic disappears. Mine did not. Here, there it does. You want to make sure that you click the corner edge of the frame. We're going to click and then note also that the values on the transform panel are again specific to the frame only. We're going to click and drag the top left selection handle of the graphics frame so that it is aligned with the top left corner of the document page. As shown in figure 73 and mine on the screen, the graphic within the frame does not change size or location. A little bit more of it showed because we increased the size of the frame itself, but it is still the same size. Now we're going to drag the bottom right corner of the graphics frame so that it's aligned with the bottom right corner of the document page. And again, as the frame is enlarged, more of the graphic begins to become visible within the frame. We're going to click on the direct selection tool, which is the white selection tool. We're going to click the graphic, and then we are going to type 0 in the X plus box and hit tab. And then we're going to hit type 0 in the Y plus text box and hit tab. And then as shown in figure 74, the top left corner of the graphic is aligned with the bottom left corner of the frame. Wait a minute. The top left corner of the graphic is aligned with the top left corner of the frame. Now we're going to resize the graphics frames and graphics. We're on page 4-41. We're going to drag the background layer below the text layer on the layers panel and then show and target the images layer. So first we're going to get the background layer and we are going to drag it below the text layer. And then we're going to show and target the images layer. We're going to press A, and that accesses the direct selection tool. We're then going to close the windmill color graphics in the layout. Click the windmill color graphic in the layout. You want to verify that the constrain proportions for scaling option is activated on the transform panel. That's represented by the link icon. The constrain proportions for scaling option is activated by default. If you click it, you will deactivate this feature and see a broken link icon. So if it looks like a broken link, it's not activated. If it looks like a broken or a linked link, it is actually activated. We're going to type 50 in the scale X percentage text box. Let's see. I'm sure it's probably here, but I don't see it, so I am going to bring up the transform panel. And then we are looking for the scale X percentage, and we're going to put 50% in that box. Hit tab. And you'll see that that automatically, because we had the scale proportionately link clicked or activated, it also scales at 50% on the Y as well. Now we're going to press V to access the selection tool. We're going to click the windmill color graphic in the layout. The size of the frame itself was not affected by scaling the graphic. We're going to go to Object. I don't know why it keeps giving me those invalid numbers, but I just X out and everything seems to work fine. So we're going to click Object on the menu bar. We're going to point to Fitting, and then we're going to click Fit Frame to Content. I'm going to try that again, make sure I did that right. Object, Fitting, Fit Frame to Content. Now we're going to click the top left reference point on the transform panel, which I've already have it clicked anyway. We're going to, with the frame still selected, which it is, we're going to type 4.5 in the X location box. Now I'm going to click off, and then I am going to get the black selection tool, and I'm going to select the frame because we wanted the frame. We did not want the just the image inside the frame. So we've got the frame selected. We're going to type 4.5 in the X location box and hit tab. We're going to type 3 in the Y location box and hit tab. We're going to type 3.32 in the width box and hit tab. And we're going to type 125, sorry, in the height text box and press enter or return. We're going to press A to access the direct selection tool, and I'm on page 4-42 if you're looking for where I am on number 9. Then we're going to note the scale X percentage and scale Y percentage text boxes on the transform panel. The graphic retains its 50% scale. I'm going to get the graphic. which it does. Once I got the white arrow and again selected the graphic, not the frame, but the graphic, you'll see that the 50% scale is maintained. Now we're going to click the object on the menu bar. We're going to point to fitting, and then we're going to click Fit Content Proportionally. The transform panel shows that the graphic is scaled proportionately to fit the resized frame. We're going to deselect, and then we're going to press V. We're going to click the graphic. And then we're going to go to Object and Fitting and Fit Frame to Content. And there you go. As shown in figure 77 and mine on the screen, the right edge of the graphic moves left to fit the right edge of the graphic. We are going to deselect all. Now, starting on page 443, we are going to wrap text around a graphic. We're going to verify that the selection tool is selected, which it is. We're going to click on the graphic, which we've done, and then we're going to click the Wraparound Bounding Box Text button on the text wrap panel. So first we're going to go up to Window. We're going to find the text wrap panel. And we're going to click Wrap Around the Bounding Box button, which is right here. Verify that the Make All Settings the Same button is active, which it is. That's the Make All Settings button active, the same. And then we're going to type 0.125 in the top offset box. 0.125 and press Enter. And you'll see that the page and the text wrap have, the text wrap has all equal wraps around all edges, and the type itself is wrapping relative to those edges. We are going to deselect all. We're going to press Control or Command D. We're going to navigate to the drive and folder where the data files are stored, and then we're going to double click Windmills Silhouette Photoshop Document. Click the Loaded Graphic icon on the F in the word Flowers. The Windmills Silhouette PSD was saved with a clipping path named Path 1 in Photoshop. We are going to click the Wraparound Object Shape button. We're going to click the Type List arrow. We're going to click Photoshop Path. Then note that Path 1 is automatically listed in the Path text box. We're going to type 0.14 in the top offset box. And then press Enter or Return. And as shown in figure 79, the text wraps around the graphic shape, which you'll see here, as defined by the path created in Photoshop. The text wrap panel specifies a default offset of 0.14 inches for the wrap, which it does. Now we're going to deselect. We're going to get the black selection tool. Then we're going to click the graphic to verify that the frame, not the graphic within the frame, is selected. We're going to type minus 1.25 in the X location. We're going to type 3.8 in the Y location. And as shown in figure 80, or mine on the screen, because the shape of the path around the graphic, a couple of words appear in an odd position on the graphic, and you'll see this down towards the bottom. In the Wrap Options section, we are going to click the Wrap to List area and right side. As shown in figure 81 and mine on the screen, the words are moved to the right because the wrap option forces all items to wrap against the right side of the graphic. We're again going to click the selection tool. We're going to click the graphic. We're going to drag the left middle handle of the bounding box to the right so that it abuts with the left side of the page. And then we're going to drag the bottom middle handle up, and we're gonna have to zoom out a bit so we can see that. We're going to pull that up so that it abuts the bottom of the page, which it does. Now we're going to click the pasteboard to deselect the frame. We're going to press W to preview the work. And then we're going to do Command or Control S to save the work. And then we're going to close out the flowers document. And that does it for this demo. I will be back with more tomorrow.